Oh, our word's a middle school level. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, wait, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, get out of
Awesome.
here.
Get out of
graders.
here, first graders.
Get out of here, children.
Yeah, get out of here. Welcome to the Random Word Podcast, a podcast where we talk about random words.
But they're no longer for children.
Yeah, it's no longer a podcast for 4-year-olds.
Get out.
Let's celebrate. Woo.
Yay, we've grown up.
We've grown up. We're advancing to middle school level words.
Level up in podcast. Middle school.
What is the word that is finally a middle school level?
Neighbor. A
Whoa.
person who lives near or next to another, or a person or thing.
See, neighbor is such a cool word. It's a noun, an adjective, and a verb. Whoa.
Look at that.
Imagine being a noun, an adjective, and a word. I can't tell if that's selfish or like just English.
Think it's just
English.
Just English. I mean, because you can use it to like describe someone as neighborly.
Yeah.
Or something as a neighbor, but then your neighbor is the person you live next to as the noun.
Yeah.
I've never seen neighbor as a verb, although I guess to neighbor.
I neighbor you. I neighbor you.
Yeah. There you go. Verb. It's everything. What a show
Yeah,
off.
it's everything. What a show off of a word. Maybe that's why it's a middle school level.
Yeah. Because you tell a first grader that a word can be 3 different things at once, it'll blow their minds.
Yeah. Their brain will be on the wall.
Synonyms for neighbor: acquaintance, friend,
Okay,
bystander.
but
But
I could live next door to you and never talk to you. I could live next door to you and hate you.
yeah.
Why are these synonyms? Like, I like acquaintance and friend.
I don't know. Well, that's for person who lives close by.
Yeah.
And then for the verb, the synonyms are like a but, a join, border, communicate, be adjacent.
Be adjacent.
Be adjacent, touch. But
But I don't think neighbor necessarily means like touching. Like
Yeah.
in like rural Kansas, like your neighbors could be miles from you, but they're still your neighbor because you're in rural Kansas.
Yeah.
I've lived in suburban Kansas, not
What
rural.
were your neighbors like when you lived there?
Fine. Don't remember them. Oh wait,
Nice.
no. I was good friends with them. Right across the street. Yeah. I just completely lied to you. I was friends with most of my neighbors.
How dare you? How dare you lie to me?
I just fully lied to you. My neighbors across the street, I once made soda with them.
Aw, isn't that fun?
And one time I was over at their house and then we got a tornado warning and I had to run across the street and go into my basement.
Good job.
The tornado never came near us. I was completely fine, but it was a tornado warning.
Yeah, so you gotta be safe.
Yep.
Here's a little advice for you middle schoolers who are now our listeners. If there's a tornado warning, stay safe. Don't be an idiot about it.
When the tornado warning was happening, there were like news crews like fairly close to us and it was cool.
Ooh,
yeah.
Exciting.
So we were watching the news. It was like, oh, I know exactly where that is. We could go over there in our car and be on the news, but also there's a tornado watch and we don't want to be in a tornado.
Being on news is not worth getting caught in a tornado.
Yeah. I lived in Kansas for only a year though, and we only had one tornado warning ever, so I think that's fairly lucky. I don't know.
That's more tornado warnings than I've had in my life so far.
Yeah, you live in England.
Yeah.
And you've only lived in England. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
only really lived in this house, so I've kind of had the same neighbors for like as long as I can remember.
Oh. The first neighbor that I can remember was when I lived in Louisiana when I was probably 3 or 4, and I have one memory of it, and they were the neighbors directly across the street from us, and they their daughter got a floor piano and I went over to their backyard and played on it with them.
Oh,
And that's the only memory of them I have. I don't remember them. I only remember their floor piano.
only the
So
floor piano.
yeah, so clearly I have my priorities straight when I was like 3. Uh,
Absolutely.
but before that, I don't remember any of my neighbors. Obviously, I was under the age of 3. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I mostly remember having like occasional like we'd have tea with our neighbors
yeah,
in the garden, which would mostly
that's
consist of
so British.
me.
It's the most British sentence I've ever heard.
Thank you. Um I mean, it's what you do. You just invite people around for a cup of tea sometimes.
That's
Um
so British. That would never happen in the States. Like, I'm gonna invite my neighbor over, neighbor with a U at that. I'm gonna invite my neighbor over, and we're gonna have tea in our garden, not our backyard.
yeah. So yeah, we'd do that, and obviously when I was really young, that would consist of me running around their garden with like our cats because obviously the cats can get through the hedge, and also
Even
a
more
3-year-old
British. You're just talking British, because in, in
because
the
I'm
state,
British.
yeah, in the States you don't normally have like cats that are often outside. Um, like, yeah, cats. We don't do a lot of that indoor outdoor cat life. We do, um,
Indoor cat or stray.
yeah, indoor or stray.
Uh, our cats, as well as the cats being able to get through the hedge, a small 3-year-old child can also get through the hedge.
Terrifying.
So, yeah. So I'm trying to think whenever did I have the excuse to go into my neighbor's garden. There was when they had like their relatives, like I think it's like nieces and nephews or grandchildren, I can't remember. Um but like that kind of age would be over and we'd like play together and I was quite a bit older than them. Well, I say quite a bit. It was like a 2 or 3 year age difference, but it felt old. Um, so I'd just play with these children and they'd love our cats. So I'd just like squeeze through the hedge to get to the other garden. Which, yeah, terrifying. Just suddenly a 3-year-old in your garden.
I would be scared if there was suddenly a 3-year-old in my garden.
As you should be.
But also, the American definition of garden is like your flower bed. So if there's a three year
Whereas
old in your garden, they're messing up your crops.
there's, there's a 3-year-old just sat in the flower bed. Whereas our gardens just are kind of like stretches of grass with a shed.
Yeah,
But
like,
in my case, there are flower beds.
yeah, a garden is like your whole yard. Um,
Yeah.
and you don't say like backyard or front yard, you just say garden. It's like pretty unanimous,
Yeah.
I feel like.
We don't really have yards because yard is like unit of measurement as well.
Okay, but Americans say yard, and America's the only country that really uses the imperial system to that extent,
Yeah, so that doesn't.
to where it
I
would be
don't know
confusing.
why.
It's not confusing because it's context, though, I
True.
guess.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't use yard.
Just
Yeah,
using
so
to say
mostly
yard.
most interaction with like our neighbors has been uh yeah, going around for cups of tea, playing with their relatives, or on occasion they would cat sit for us while we were on holiday. So they'd just feed the cats and make sure they weren't dying.
Yeah.
And now it's dog sitting because there's a dog who needs more care than the cats.
I
What
mean,
about
how
you? What
often
were
are you
your
needing Birdie to be dog sat? Because, like, COVID and such, you're not.
It's only usually for like a day or like a night because we'll be
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, if we're seeing friends, we usually aren't going to take the dog with
Yeah,
us
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because we're
obviously.
usually going somewhere inside that probably doesn't have dogs. What about you? What were your like when would you interact with your neighbors regularly, if at all?
I'm very much like I was always very social, and I would go around and like have like great times with all my neighbors' kids, and um it was always cool. Like there was always like I lived in a very suburbia. I lived a very suburban American young childhood. Like I always got very excited when like say switching my microphone. I I would always get like excited when we found out
Oh, that was a
which
change.
yeah.
Sorry, to my surprise.
I would always get excited with like the the one there was always one neighbor that had a um what's it called, a trampoline,
Yeah,
and that was always exciting, meeting this trampoline friend, um and playing like
trampoline friend.
yeah, and like playing like Dead Man or something like that. I forget other games.
You what?
You don't know
Dead,
Dead Man?
dead man, dead man? No,
Oh, um
that
what is
sounds
it?
horrifying.
No, it's really not. It's a trampoline game. One child lies down in the middle, and everyone jumps around in circles around them. Um,
Oh,
and you say dead. You chant dead man, come alive," when the count turns five, and then you
you
count to
have a
five.
ritual.
It sounds so demonic. And then you
That is a ritual. That is a reviving ritual, is what you're describing
and then
there.
yeah, then you count to five, and then they can't. They're either blindfolded or their eyes are shut, and then they try to tag people. Um,
Oh my. That just sounds like a ritual of some kind. I mean, I used to play a similar thing with my friend, but it would be less chanting and more whoever's lying in the middle is trying to trip the other over. Bear in mind, this was with two people.
so you're telling me that British children don't chant dead man, come alive," and then play play that for hours
No,
straight?
no, we don't.
Oh,
We instead, or at least when I was younger, I had like one friend with a trampoline. I still have that friend with the trampoline,
yeah.
but we don't play games on it like that anymore.
Oh,
Um, we uh we used to like, yeah, one of us would lie in the middle and try to trip the other over. And then there'd also be like role play, I guess.
yeah. But
Which
that's
would
not
mostly consist
dead
of us.
man. That's
No,
not
it
dead
isn't
man.
Dead Man, Dead Man. That's not a ritual. Which would
it
this
sounds
role playing?
it
It
sounds so
sounds,
ritualistic, but it's
yeah,
not. It's really not. Um,
but it sounds it.
yeah, it sounds it.
But yeah, the role playing would mostly consist of us just running in like circles just around the trampoline, just yelling things.
Yeah, that's fun. Everyone did that.
Yeah.
But I I swear to God, every American you ever talk to that had a trampoline friend knows what Dead Man is. I don't know how we knew what it was because we didn't have like internet like
Yeah.
to the level. Like, and I don't feel like you would see that on the internet because it's just like suburbia like kids knowing it. Like
I
the
guess word of mouth just spreads.
but it's not because like it's always like some kid just knows it for no reason. Like it's either their parents, and how do their parents find out about it?
Childhood.
Friends, yeah, childhood friends. How do those people like where do these games
It
come
just
from,
spreads.
and why does everyone know what they are, and why does British people not know what they are?
Because we didn't play them or know about them. I'm trying to
I
think, are there any British games that you
Are
won't know about?
ritualistic on trampolines.
No. Maybe, see, how ritualistic it is makes me think maybe one time someone saw a ritual and was like, haha, that looks like a fun game.
I'm
And they just turned it into a game.
I'm trying to find it. Yeah, I found it on a blog post from 2012 of like moms being like, "This isn't bad."
Which implies that it is.
Popcorn. Oh, I forgot about
You,
popcorn.
what, the food?
No, the trampoline game. Did you ever play popcorn?
No.
Okay, so
Oh,
you.
I never had trampoline games.
Oh.
We would make up our own.
Oh. Well, popcorn is you curl up into a ball and sit in the middle. Trampoline game seems like there's lots of children sitting or lying down on the middle of the trampoline, and then all your friends try to make you fly, like, and bounce, and just
Oh yeah, yeah, I've done that.
yeah. Everyone's played popcorn
Yeah.
though. Like, I feel like that's pretty common. I'd hope.
That's like
It's
your
very fun.
go-to on a trampoline. Try and bounce as high as you can.
No, it's not that.
Uh,
It's curling up into a ball and trying to make your friend bounce.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I know I have played that, but I didn't call it popcorn.
Yeah, I can't think of any other like neighborhood like games that I would play. Like there's of course like tag and hide and seek, and that sort
Yeah.
of stuff. And around the Super Bowl once, probably this was in Kansas, I think. Um like in between the houses, because all the houses were single houses, there was like sort of alleyways that would go back to a big field because we're in Kansas.
Yeah.
And like each house had a backyard, but then behind their backyard they had a big field that all connected, kind of like at my house. um
Mm.
but here we don't have the alleyways, we have hedges. But like we would play like small football, American football in the alleyways, and like we'd have a not a football, but we'd have some sort of ball, and we'd play football in air quotes. It was very
Yeah.
much not football, but it was the general idea of getting the ball to point A or point B, depending on what
Yeah.
what's it called, what team you're on.
Yeah. Much like most ball sports,
Yeah, yeah.
in very, very simple terms.
Yeah, in simple terms, a ball sport is get a ball from point A to point
Point
B.
A to point B, depending on which team you're on, yeah.
Yeah, depending on which team you're on.
I think most of my games were like mostly role play because I am a nerd and I'm friends with nerds. Um, but it would be like role playing with like one friend who also read a book series, and like we didn't know anyone else who read that book series. So whenever we were like together, we would role play that usually. And this is when we were really, really young.
Yeah,
Um,
I
and
feel
then at
like
school
at one
we would
point I had a friend that I would role play with. You know, one of our, and this was in Korea. The first year I was in Korea, but then they moved, and we would role play Cuphead, and we each had original characters because this was 4 or 5 years ago.
yeah.
Um, that was fun. I wouldn't do that now though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand why I enjoyed it and
Yeah, yeah,
why
yeah.
it was fun, but I don't feel like I would be role playing. You would catch me role playing Cuphead. Um,
Yeah. I think when I was at school, in like primary school, with my friends, we would role play like My Hero Academia, um, the manga series,
yeah.
and yeah, we'd just do that. But we would also like make other games about that. So like tag, we would just turn it into like My Hero Academia tag,
Eh.
just because we were obsessed apparently.
Fun fact: my mom somehow knows. I forget how she knows, but she knows the voice actor that the the guy with, what's the character with like the grape head?
Oh, Mineta.
Is it grapes? I don't know. It looks like grapes.
Everyone calls him Grape. Yeah, that one's the pervert.
Okay. Him. My
Yeah, that's the
mom.
character no one likes.
Okay, my mom knows the voice in some way. Knows the voice actor for the American dub,
Oh,
for the English dub, not American dub. So
isn't that fun?
I don't know how she knows him.
Fun
But she'll.
fact of the day.
Yeah. Fun fact of the day: my mom somehow knows one of the voice actors. I think they went to high school or college or something like that together.
Huh.
Um,
The more you know.
and like he's. I don't want to say anything that's not true.
Yeah, fair enough.
Um, but at some point my mom said something about knowing the voice actor for the American dub. My sister was into My Hero Academia, but I never got into it.
I read it up to. I still have the books. Which book did I read up to? I can't see anything. It's so dark. I read up to book 25.
That's a lot of books. But they're manga though, so they're not like heavy reading.
Yeah, I'd get through it in a day.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
Like my dad would bring one home, I'd get through it in the same evening. Yeah,
I guess
I just trail off.
Yeah. I guess my equivalent was I never really read manga or watched anime or any of that. But I guess my equivalent was I did like Captain Underpants and Dogman.
Oh yeah.
I liked those for a really long time and then I fell off it.
As you do.
Yeah. But I only liked that up until probably 4th or 5th grade. I forget. It was one
I
of the
liked
two.
My Hero Academia from like I think year 3 when I met those friends that introduced me to it to year 6 when obviously I left. And then
yeah,
I still
just
kept reading it into a few years after that.
Yeah, that would make sense because it's like it's not like you stop talking to people and then oops, I hate everything about them and everything about what they read and won't read what they read.
Well, yeah.
I always like had good relationships with my neighbors and their kids. I don't there's the meme of like the neighbor's kid that and like they're like weird, but like I've never had a weird neighbor's kid. Like I've always been friends with all the neighbors' kids.
Yeah. I don't where I live there's not many like most of my neighbors don't have children or like younger relatives, I guess, other than obviously the ones I mentioned.
Yeah.
So I don't talk to I don't talk to most of them. I think my parents talk to them a bit more.
Yeah.
But it'll
I've
mostly be for help with something in the garden or something. Like, can we borrow your pressure washer or something?
Yeah. Yeah. I've lived a very like I guess unique life that's only like people that have like are from similar background wouldn't understand because I'm military brat. So I've lived in hundreds of places and I'm every time I live on a military base, it's all kids about my age that are about that have lived in as many places as me and like we're all like we get along very easily. Yeah, we're all in the same boat. We all understand each other. It's like it's a unique thing that I like. Like I feel like if I was you and like I grew up not knowing different, I wouldn't mind it. But I feel like if like suddenly my dad stopped being in the military and then we just settled somewhere, I would be like, this is weird. Like just being stuck with like the people around me for the next rest of my life.
Yeah, or until you move away.
Yeah.
I mean, vice versa. I also think it would be quite weird if I suddenly started moving around everywhere.
Yeah, every 2 years.
It would be very different.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's very different energies because like I feel like at some point obviously I am going to have to settle somewhere unless I marry someone in the military, but because I don't want to be in the military, but I don't know how it would feel if I settled somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
yeah, because you're so used to moving around.
Yeah.
So it would be very like yeah, just different, I guess.
Yeah. And it's not that like I hate long-term relationships with friends.
How dare you?
Yeah. If we were friends for the next 15 years, I'd die. No. No. We probably might be.
Yeah.
Can't promise anything though, because life
that's fine.
throws curveballs. But
Yeah.
You know
I
what I
mean,
mean? Like,
I know I told my friends in year six that we'd be friends forever,
yeah.
and as soon as I got out of year six, I immediately blocked them.
Love that for you. Uh, genuinely.
I loved it too. It's
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah. You gotta have some catharsis now and then.
Yeah.
But I do like meeting. Like, it's not so much that I need to get away from people, but I like the like having a clean slate every 2 years. Of like,
Yeah.
I can,
Meeting people who know nothing about you.
yeah, it's like meeting new people and like being able to like just kind of connect with new people from different backgrounds and
Yeah.
like learn about them. And like, it's not like I haven't ditched my friends that I was friends with in Korea, aside from
Yeah,
time
because you're
zones
still in
wise.
contact, aren't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. But like my friends from like kindergarten, there's no way I'll ever be in contact with them again. Um,
Yeah.
because I was in kindergarten and I didn't have a phone. What's a phone? It
Yeah.
was also
You
like,
you just you just trust that you'll talk to each other in person every day, and then the second you
yeah,
stop, you forget about each other
yeah. Like
because you're children.
yeah, I remember one friend sent me a letter after I moved from where I was in kindergarten,
Aw,
and I never
that's
sent a
really
letter back.
sweet. Oh
I
no!
felt terrible. I just never had a
And
chance
to this
to.
day, they're still waiting.
Yeah, they're still waiting on that
Yeah,
letter. Um, she was nice.
that's really sweet.
Yeah. That was a non-military school, so I was like one of like three military kids.
Hmm.
So they all like were expected to know me for the rest of elementary school and then into middle and high school, but like obviously not. But those kids still probably all know each other. Um, it's like,
They don't remember you.
and
No,
they don't
they do
remember me
vaguely.
or vaguely remember me. Yeah, maybe.
Mm. I think I had a when one of my friends moved away. We used to FaceTime a little bit because we had like our parents' iPads, so we knew how to
Yeah,
FaceTime.
yeah.
And then, much like most of my friends from primary school, blocked
Oh,
or cut off. I think we just kind of stopped talking, and then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not talking to you again.
yeah. I don't think I ever had any toxic friends, and if I did, I don't remember them. Um, I think I've been
I had.
mostly safe. Like,
That's good. Except till now, turns out I'm toxic. No.
turns out.
It turns out we've been gaslighting you this whole time. Um,
Gaslight
no, I
Gatekeep Girl
think,
Boss.
yep. No, we're
I
not.
was saying that before it was a meme.
You were the original Gaslight Gatekeep Girl
No, I
Boss.
was not the original. That's from a drag queen. I I can't say her last name, so I'm not gonna say her name. But
Fair enough.
it's yeah. I watched a video series that's with her and another drag queen, and they've said it, and I was saying it before. It was a meme everywhere. So yeah,
Wow,
Gaslight
look at you
Gatekeep
go.
Girl Boss.
Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss.
Um,
Yeah, I had a few toxic friends throughout most of primary school, I think. So I didn't know what toxic friends were.
yeah,
I was like 4. Um, and then obviously after year 6, I think year 7 was when I was like, oh wait, these people are awful. Bye losers.
were you at this school in year
Hmm?
7?
Yeah, I've
Oh.
been at the school since year 7, yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. Cause yeah, I know I knew that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
should have
was
known that.
very like I wanted to go to the school that my friends were going to, which is much closer, like I could walk to it. But it is also full of all the other kids in my primary school, and I hated all of them. And I didn't want to have to deal with that for the other like third of my life.
See, I don't
So
get that
the
because I've like I've the longest I've been at a school is 2 years
yeah.
because it fit that I've only ever the longest I've lived in one place is 3 years and I've done that twice. but it lined up to where the first time I was at a place for 3 years, that was, I started school the second year that I was there. I started kindergarten. And then I, and then the second time I was at a place for 3 years, which was in Korea, it was in between the transition between middle school and elementary school.
Yeah.
So pretty much I've never been out of school for more than 2 years.
I went to, yeah, I didn't want to spend so much of my life with those kids again. So that's why I went to the school I'm currently at. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll just stay in contact with them. Plot twist, I didn't.
Yeah, it's
I got
hard to
better
do that.
friends.
Oh god.
Oh, good job.
Ukulele. Um
Yeah,
it's hard to keep in contact with people when you don't see them every day.
Yeah.
Like I am in contact with people from the last place I lived, but I don't talk to them every day. Like I talk to you guys pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And then
Regardless of at school or not.
Yeah. And then once I move, it might slow down because time zones.
Yeah. So like we'll text you and it'll be like midnight for you.
Yeah.
And
y'all
then
can
you'll
continue
answer and it'll be midnight for us.
Yeah, y'all can continue to use our group chat and talk about the state of whether or not we have to wear PE clothes, and I'll just be like, haha, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of thing you would do. Like, we'd be talking about it and like panicking about schoolwork, and you'd be like, well, I don't have to do it, so I don't know about you losers.
When you guys are going to be like waking up for school, I'm going to be going to sleep. So,
yeah,
so we'll sleep.
You'll text us good morning and we'll text you good night.
No, because morning, the next place I'm going to live, it's between 8 and 5 hours behind England. So, it's going to be like you're going to be getting out of school and I'll be saying good morning.
Oh, love that.
And like
we'll be like, our day just ended, don't make it start again.
Yeah, like 7 p.m. for y'all is gonna be like 3 p.m. for me.
Damn.
Like midday.
That's
lunchtime.
Gonna be funky time zones.
Yeah, funky.
Yeah. I bet we will still use that group chat though, because like
there's no
reason for us not to use it.
Yeah. And it's funny if I'm just like, haha, I don't.
Yeah.
Are you having fun with Mr. Math Teacher? Because my math teacher is not that person.
Wow. One of us will be in school earlier and we'll be like, guys, help, I'm alone. And you'll be like, can't help you there.
Can't help you there. It'll be 7 hours of a plane ride until I can get to you.
Yeah, and by then school will have finished.
Yeah. That is funny. Like, in the time that you could go through a school day, I could be flying to England.
Yeah.
But that would be like if I'm on the East Coast. Yeah, that would be like if I'm on the East Coast. If I'm on the West Coast, you're screwed. See you at midnight.
You just show up to one of our houses at midnight like, I've come to help. And we're like, what?
That was 12 hours ago.
Yeah. You came all this way just to make sure I wasn't lonely this morning. What a loser.
That also wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, no.
Because I still have a school day. What would my friends in America be thinking if I'm in England? I'm like, hey, my friends in England are suffering, so I was catching plane.
They think that you've got your priorities wrong.
Yeah, and they'll be like, but we're lonely.
And you're like, well, sorry.
Sorry. Duty calls.
Duty calls.
Like Batman. Batman of not letting your friends be lonely at school.
Yeah. Batman of being in 2 different continents like every other day.
God, that would be jet lag.
Terrifying. Yeah. That would be terrible.
Hypothetically, if you fly between England and America like every day, what time zone would your brain think you like? When would you sleep?
You wouldn't. I think is the short answer.
But like if you're constantly like in a constant state of flying back and forth and you're never in a time zone, like what would your body, because your body needs sleep, what
yeah,
would
yeah.
do you think your body would more correlate to America or England time zones? I guess it would depend on which one you're in more.
Yeah, I also feel like, I mean, if we're talking flying like in and out of each country throughout your entire life, then I really don't know. But if you grew up in one of them and then started traveling, I feel like maybe your brain would have gotten used to the one you grew up in and would
Yeah,
therefore use that as the base.
but your time zones are like, it's really weird. Your brain correlates time zones to darker light. So like, um, when I was getting my brain on British time zones, it was really good for me to just have my window open because then I could have a clear distinction of day or night.
Yeah.
Um,
So your
and
brain is telling you it's like 3 p.m. and the outside is telling you it's midnight, go to sleep.
no, I don't think that's math. I don't think that's time zones.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh wait, that is correct. Pretty much. Like it would
hey,
3 p.m. is about midnight in Korea. So
look at me go.
that was like an
I
extremely good guess.
yay. I've barely ever had different experiences with like time zones or jet lag
Yeah.
because the only I've only been on like on a plane to other places in Europe, so I don't think the time zone is too different.
Yeah. Because England is like only an hour behind France and like
Yeah, yeah,
two
yeah.
hours behind something west of that or east of that.
So it's just a little bit of a lion all staying up,
Yeah.
I guess.
I like that you guys say lion because we say sleep
What
in.
do you say?
Sleep in.
Oh, you say sleeping?
I slept in until 10 a.m. this morning.
We
Like I
say
wouldn't say
lion,
I lied in. I laid in.
layin. I mean, I think
But
in
past tense.
past tense, what do we say?
I laid
I
in. I
yeah,
lied
I guess
in.
I lay in, I laid in. I mean, we do use slept in as well,
Yeah.
but to have a lion, I feel like we usually use lion as like if we're talking about the future. So like, I'm gonna have a lion tomorrow, and
How do you
then
plan that though? Like that's just
huh?
like turning off your alarm, I guess.
Yeah, it's waking up at like 7 and then deciding, no, I'm going back to sleep, and then going back to sleep until 10
See, I'll
is
just sleep until
essentially.
noon if I don't set an alarm.
I sleep until the time my body decides to not. I
I feel
mean,
like you've just described sleeping.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
I
I don't
sleep
think.
unless I'm not.
Yeah, I sleep until I'm not. I'm asleep until I wake up.
I'm standing until I'm sitting.
I'm awake until I go to sleep. I'm alive until I die. I'm moving until I stop.
This is a dumb segment.
I know, I love it.
I'm blank until I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
Uh
stubbing my toe out until I'm comforted.
um thing I'm playing music until I'm silent.
Okay,
I'm
how about we
eating till I
talk about
stop.
neighbors?
How do we go back to neighbors?
Um, so what were we talking about sleeping in?
Um
Time zones, and
time zones,
adapting.
yes.
So if you I need to adjust how I'm sitting. I am never comfortable in a chair. Um,
Me neither. My
no, it
foot will go
is.
numb and then I will have to move.
There is like biologically like sitting's really bad for you. Did you know that? Like human bodies
I mean,
aren't like meant to sit in chairs. Like you can sit on the ground, you can lay down, but like
are we meant to sit on the ground then?
yeah, like you're
We
not
designed
meant.
to sit on like pillows.
Yeah, chairs aren't made for adaptation and evolution.
We aren't evolved to sit in chairs.
Us and our neighbors are not allowed evolved to sit in chairs. So us and our neighbors are not made to sit in chairs. And this has been the Random Word podcast with Aubrey and you're Mia. I'm not
Yes,
Mia.
I
Oh
am.
God,
No,
I'm
you're not.
making things break.
You...
So
I'm slowly moving away.
yeah, find us everywhere on our link tree.
Linktree can be found on all the socials.
.ee. Yeah, you can find it in our description, and then you can find us everywhere. Send us a message on Anchor, and you might be featured in the podcast,
Tumblr.
or on Tumblr, or on Twitter, or
in Instagram
not Instagram,
comments.
not really Instagram.
No,
find
really.
us anywhere. Follow us everywhere. Give us
Please
5 stars.
Thank you.
Yeah, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, and have a lovely day.
Have a good day, middle schoolers.
Middle schoolers, yeah, you're evolved now.
Yeah.